Hey lunatics, these will be your Scorpio season love readings. There will be 12 readings in this one session, so one for each sign, of course. And thank you to those of you who do like this video. I so appreciate that. And to those of you who choose to subscribe, if you aren't already, thank you to you as well. And thank you for your comments, your shares, your messages, your donations, and orders. I am truly grateful for each and every one of our energy exchanges here. If you are interested in a personal reading from me, yes, I do private readings, and all of the options are listed in the description of the video. They're also on the linked on my YouTube channel and in the About section, and you can also email me at lunartickstarot@gmail.com. I did have to take a break on the free readings, accepting requests for those. Just a break for the moment, and when I do catch up and return, I think I will approach that differently. I haven't decided exactly yet. I'm going to get caught up first. I think I've mentioned this a few times in a few of the videos. So hopefully everyone knows now, and we will focus now on the Scorpio season love messages for Scorpio. First of all, we will start with Scorpio. Why not? Love messages for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, Mars, Venus, of course, Venus, really, and any energy that calls to you, and of course maybe you're watching for your partner, or cross-watching for someone, but it could be any energy that calls to you with any of these readings, really. Particularly in a love reading, I'm going to say your Venus. Sun, Moon, Rising, Mars, and Venus, though it could be. If I were checking for myself, I would check for my Venus. In any case, love messages for Scorpio during Scorpio season, during your season. There are the first three. Scorpio, you're feeling overwhelmed, it looks like, in terms of your love life this season. And I know that we are already a week into your season at this point, Scorpio, so I'm sorry that I'm a little bit behind. Hopefully this is right on time for many of you. It does look like that this is finding you overwhelmed. That may even be for a lot of you the way that you entered into your season. As I said, I know we're a weekend, and I think this will take us through the next 3 weeks, and maybe even take a peek into the next season as well. Maybe even take a look at past November into Sagittarius season. And this is all rooted in the Temperance card your reading is, which is sometimes a Sagittarius card energy for me. It's also, it speaks of adapting. So I think in the root of the situation, you were trying very hard to adapt to a new way, someone's way, maybe to your partner. Maybe you were trying to cohabitate, something like that. Temperance can also speak of forgiveness for some. Maybe for some you just needed to adapt. Maybe for some there was some forgiveness required. Temperance, moderation, poise, balancing our emotions and our practicality, perhaps. Those may be some of the qualities that you were trying to integrate with two people, two energies. Okay, so just before Scorpio season, you did feel like you had a happy, comfortable, balanced home, Scorpios. And when your ego is quiet, you've either got a Taurian energy on your mind, or you know that secrets are being kept, whether they're secrets you were keeping or secrets that someone is keeping from you. I think you're feeling, and for a lot of you Scorpios, the case is that you are feeling very overwhelmed, feeling very burdened in some way regarding your love life at this time. But your intuition, when your ego is quiet, holds the secret to unlocking that weight, that burden, to releasing that, to taking that off of your shoulders. And it may have to do with this love offer that you are being crossed with. I'll get some clarifiers here, but the riding energy, or the really the sort of the umbrella message of the entire reading is the Five of Swords in reverse. So I do see that there is peace, maybe after some fights at this time during Scorpio season. Like a fight is over. What I'm really seeing is that there's forgiveness in the root of the situation, and a happy home even more recently. But then for some secrets are continuing to be kept. And so that situation is feeling, too burdensome, overwhelming. You don't want to have to forgive the same types of betrayals over and over again. Feeling like this person maybe isn't learning their lesson. And at the same time, yeah, you're needing, in the root of the situation, you were needing to forgive, and at the same time, you were needing to stand up for yourself. You want to forgive them. You wanted to forgive them. I think, that was, as I said, in the root, in the past, in the foundation of this. You wanted to forgive them, but had to balance that out with also insisting that, you don't, that this is unacceptable behavior, and you won't take any more of it, right? But it looks like it could be that the reason that you're feeling overwhelmed at this time is because behaviors, mistakes, negative patterns of that sort are repeating. You may be dealing with a Pisces, specifically Scorpio. Or you're getting, some love interest from someone else. Receiving, I think, loving and possibly passionate advances, messages of some type, whether it's, electronic messages or otherwise, or messages through body language, something like that. But some type of message, signal message from someone, I think, else, someone outside of the situation that you may be struggling with. Or whomever you're with, is offering you messages of love and passion and enthusiasm. But you're feeling very overwhelmed about something else. My first indication is that, you are feeling overwhelmed about your love life specifically. In the near future, I do see a give and take between you and someone. But often in this version, the Deviant Moon Tarot's version of the Six of Pentacles here, I really can't help but notice how much this person is still keeping to themselves behind their back, especially with the High Priestess, who does hold secrets any way you slice it. It doesn't always mean someone is sneakily keeping secrets from you. But there is, I do see that message for some Scorpios here, that in the near future, you know, someone is giving to the other. One person is giving to the other in a situation regarding your love life, and yet not everything. Much is still concealed. Much is still kept to themselves. And if that means that, you know, you're conserving your energy for yourself, or the other person is, and they necessarily need to, sometimes, you know, that is healthy. You know, often that's the healthy thing to do. It just depends how we're applying it. It may be an Aquarius that you're dealing with. It could be a Pisces, Aquarius, either or. And as you move into Sagittarius season, there is need to be cautious of adopting a victim mentality, Scorpios, with the Eight of Swords showing up here. You see this this character has her hand over her forehead in the cliche pose, as if to say, quote, "Woe is me," and is about to topple out of the window and possibly to his or her death. But they do seem to be controlled by the moon's influences there, as quite a few characters in this deck do, and as we all often are, right? Still, it seems to be that, you know, by leaning into this pity for oneself, or just desire to act out this overdramatic scene, through this attitude of, again, you know, help me, I can't help myself. This person can possibly get irreparably damaged there, falling out the window, because they really need to fight maybe those influences instead of, like I said, leaning into them. Even sometimes that is our only downfall and our only opportunity to get out of influences that don't serve us. We can certainly curb these things, right, by not being too inebriated around the full moon, especially if we know we have a pattern of getting overwhelmed by that type of, by that much of that drug around that time specifically. We'll get one clarifier on the Eight of Swords. Yeah, I do think for a lot of you this has to do with a significant Aquarius energy in your life, because we have the Star card as a clarifier, as the person in your near future you're having a give and take with, and then the King of Swords just here after. So it can be, you know, again, it could be you or them who's having slipping into a victim mentality or the like. Just being unable to see that you have control in areas that you do. Being unable to see that you have choices in areas that you do. And again, it could be either one of you. You know, I have a feeling, though, that it's whomever is only giving so much here to the other, whomever is holding back some of their secrets or holding back some of their energy, their time, something something earthly, as represented by the pentacles here. But it could be information, honesty. I'm sorry, I keep losing where the camera is. I'm trying to get used to using my phone instead, to keep the sound and the video syncing up. So yeah, I think it's that character here, who's only receiving so much information and is, or energy, and is accepting that. I think it's that character who's at risk of then falling into this victim mentality here. And when I say that, I think all of that has to do with significant Aquarius energy. If that's not someone in your life that could possibly be related to your love life, then it could be some significant Aquarius energy in your own chart. Happy birthday, Scorpios. Sorry, I'm a week late on that. Your November video will be first. Sorry to those of you whose birthday I've already missed, as I say, a happy birthday. But again, I do hope that in being a week late, that this message is right on time for a lot of you. So you have the star and the sun card. Now we also have the sun card showing up on the bottom of the deck, the clarifier deck, which certainly for a lot of you speaks to the fact that this reminded me to say happy birthday to you, that the sun is in your sign, but also, to an authentic, it also speaks to sorry about that, Scorpio. I was just about to say the sun also suggests for us that an authentic version of yourself, an authentic, truly happy version of yourself. And it's not, just an opportunity for true happiness like we would see in the Ace of Cups, for example. Sorry, still looking for that camera. But it's also, with it being the sun card upright, we're looking at realized happiness, greatness. You meeting, finally at last meeting, or fully expressing once again your inner child, your inner light. And we all need that Plutonic light at this time, Scorpios. We do, and I think that's what we're seeing here as well with the star card showing up right here with the sun. That this is a time when you will see clarity in who you are, be more able to express that authentic version of yourself that brings you true happiness, and in seeing that version of yourself and expressing that version of yourself, you'll be this light for other people as well, right? So this is about shining as yourself, for yourself, but then for others as well, whether you mean to or not, whether you realize that that's what will be happening or not. And the way in which Spirit gives to you, gives to us, as is pictured here, the way that Spirit replenishes us, rejuvenates us, that type of a gift. It's the same type of a gift that we see in the card that it clarifies, in this energy, the Six of Pentacles energy. So this may be representing here in your near future, toward the end of this season, your season, or even the beginning of Sagittarius season, this may be representing you holding back some of your energy, some of your resources, some of your time, some of your information, some of your energy in one sense or another from someone else, but more notably giving some of it, even though it seems like little in the amount that compared to the amount that you're keeping in reserve for yourself. I mean, you have work responsibilities and you need time for yourself and your friends and your family. And who knows what else you're involved in there with the other pentacle. But this may be giving a lot to give just this amount. This card upright also suggests that in the near future, you will know where your energy needs to go, where it should go, and where you need it to go to stay healthy, to stay balanced. And I think it's much like the gift that Spirit gives to us. You are giving of yourself to some other individual involved in your love life here. And I think this is mirrored here as well. See how this person receiving something is the one that's in the same position with their arms. They just look like they're in the exact same position there. I think you're dealing with someone who then by about mid-Sagittarius season ish, right around that time, considering that time is fluid, is going to adopt that victim mentality we were talking about regarding how the amount of energy that you are or aren't giving to them, or information or time or all the above, resources of some sort, an earthly resource. As I said, again, your energy in some way, shape, or form. And we will grab an advice card for you as well, really quick, Scorpio. We'll let yours be the longest love reading here at the beginning, since it's your birthday season. But we will also grab an advice card. But I do think with the King of Swords showing up as the clarifier on that Eight of Swords, I do think you're called to act with the merciless truth that the King of Swords would, to act with justice the way that the King of Swords would, to act with the precise and impartial truth of justice the way that the King of Swords would. He reminds us so much of justice pictured there because he very much always acts with that energy, in honesty, of honesty, for honesty. And I do believe, as I said, we will get an advice card, but I do believe that this is a suggestion not to let that person get away with that victim mentality, even if it does turn out that it is you. Either way, don't excuse that that type of behavior. Don't excuse that sort of cop-out, because it is, it's not dealing with what's going on in any real way. Because just adopting and choosing a victim mentality, that's not a real way of dealing with what's going on. That's not really approaching the situation with the power that you actually have to bring to it, that you should actually take responsibility for wielding in the situation. And I don't think, for a lot of you that I'm talking to, I am talking to people who are dealing with someone who's going to take on that victim mentality. And each situation is different. For some of you, that may mean cutting out that person. Actually, okay. Yeah, some of you are dealing with a Pisces specifically. We do have the Hangman card showing up now in reverse, though. As I said, for some of you, depending on the situation, that may mean cutting out that person. You know, if that type of victim mentality that they take on is what they do every time that the two of you come to an impasse or have a problem, you may be looking, for a few of you, at the last time that you put up with it. Seeing past it, refusing to allow that to make you feel bad or to guilt you, refusing to play into it, or refusing to even just ignore it if that's what you've done. Aquarian energy is important, whether it's in your own chart or in theirs. Possibly your tendency to overthink things. With both of these cards showing up. I'm not exactly sure how that might apply to the situation, but if the Aquarian energy showing up here is in your own chart, then possibly talking about your tendency to overthink things, Scorpio. It may just be an energy that you're, you know, very familiar with, that you find yourself embodying often, even if you're not sure why or don't know your whole birth chart. The Pisces that we keep seeing may be in your own chart as well. The Sagittarius that showed up could be in your own chart, and the root of the situation, the foundation of the situation. If you recently came to own that part of your chart, your rising sign or your moon sign, Venus, Mars, something very significant, or if that's where your one of your retrograde planets is right now, that you have noted, that you have personally already noted, it is in particular control of you right now, right? The reason I smirked at your advice card is because it's the Death card. It showed up, you showed up as your advice. Your card showed up as your advice card. And I was just wondering why we hadn't seen it. Again, I think for a lot of you Scorpios, we're talking about embodying a very authentic version of yourself, as this represents you, handling this situation how you would, handling your love life as you, for you, perhaps. Conducting yourself in your love life in a way that allows you to still be who you are, to progress into who it is that you want to be, who you are trying to be, right? But see, with the Hangman in reverse, we do sometimes get the message that someone is stuck or unwilling to sacrifice, perhaps, unable to let go of someone or something. And there is this victim mentality again as well, that I see in the Hangman reverse. It's also someone who's no longer earthbound, and so, you know, I think it can apply to both of you in the situation if your love life involves two of you, because I do still see this happy, comfortable, grounded partnership in your recent past. Someone's unable to let go, and you know, maybe it's one and the same. It can be you who's going through a transformation, but you're just having a hard time letting go of the way things were. That doesn't necessarily mean that you need to let go of a person. For some of you, and you know who you are, that is the case. But for many, it's just about letting go of the way things were, the way you all did conduct things, the way you used to see love and relationships. Maybe you've come to realize that this new version of you, or a more mature version of yourself, is going to want a different type of relationship, but you still miss things about what you used to want out of relationships, what you used to think was important, right? And as you progress, you'll find a balance. And partners will teach you. A partner or future partners will teach you will help you learn how to. Help you find solutions to keeping that balance between what you don't want to let go of, that you used to like in relationships, that some part of you may deem superficial now, but then prioritizing those things that are more important now that you're a more mature version of yourself. Partners, a future partner or partners will help you see ways that you can integrate those two sides of yourself that you couldn't have seen on your own. And so you can't resist progressing forward into new things, into new relationships that can teach you how to feel comfortable progressing forward into those types of things. You'll just stay stagnant, stunted forever if you don't go ahead and allow yourself to open up to people who may be these people here who have these messages of love and passion both for you at this time. And some of you Scorpios are staying closed off because you are so overwhelmed with other things. And maybe because of this happy, comfortable, grounded home life in your past that may not have worked out, maybe because of secrets, defensiveness, harsh words, immature communication, right? All 4 pages have shown up for you now, Scorpios. Messages. There's a lot of communication happening for you this season. A lot of messages coming in regarding your security, your finances, your resources, your love life, who has loving feelings for you, passionate feelings for you both. And or from someone who also has harsh communications. But I do see you in a healing place. I think that's why, and I meant to say this as well, I think that's why, another reason why the Star card shows up here on the 6 of Pentacles. You only have so much to give, energy, time, resource-wise, to someone else, even if it's someone you love, because of, again, family, friends, time for yourself, time for your work. Maybe this one here is extra time for healing because you are in a place of deep healing, can be some of you when the Star card shows up for you, for any of us. It can speak of a need for that type of rejuvenation, to the extent that it is and would have to be and needs to be a gift from spirit, and will be and is as it comes over you, as it heals you. And for those of you who are not feeling bound to someone or to your old ways or old ways of looking at things, old ways of conducting relationships, old criteria for a partner, I do see this then for you as a message of being no longer earthbound, not being bound to earthly things at this time anymore. Perhaps for some of us, you're searching for higher things, searching for connections of a spiritual nature, emotional, mental, and spiritual, even if they're not with another person. Maybe you're moving away from having a love life, some of you, and you're in search of higher things in that sense, and that has a lot to do then with this transformation that is your advice. These are advice cards, the Hangman reverse and the Death card here, to go ahead through that transformation. if that is speaking of a stuck energy, I don't think it's you that's stuck. If it is particularly if it's a Pisces that you're dealing with, I believe it's them that's stuck. But you know, that's just a Pisces card as well. But I don't think it's you that's stuck. And if it is, you know, you need to go ahead with this transformation, or just at this time acknowledge that a transformation is going to take place. I've said this in several other videos, maybe to you specifically before Scorpio, but a transformation is going to take place. You'll allow this one that naturally needs to take place to go ahead, to move forward, or you will reform into someone who can deal with the situation that you're making yourself stay in, who can fit in what no longer fits. It will be a different version of you, right? So a transformation will take place. And we have the Ten of Cups showing for you as well as we're closing. As I was just thinking that I did not want to leave you on a negative note. Yeah, also don't let yourself off the hook if it's you who take responsibility, if it's you who does have the victim mentality showing up here in the slightly more distant future at the end of the season or the beginning of next. If someone else has been keeping secrets from you, and is only offering you so much honesty or so much information, even though you've let it be known that that's not acceptable, you've forgiven that too many times, a victim mentality will not solve your problems, right? A victim mentality will not get you out of that situation. If that situation is what's creating this overwhelming feeling for you, then, you know, you're letting that happen. You're doing that to yourself in a sense by remaining in the situation. You have to take, you know, you don't want to give your power away is the point. You have to take responsibility for being in the situation still, for putting up with it, for teaching that person that type of behavior is okay, letting them get away with it, because no one can help you, and there's nothing that anyone can do for you or that you can do for yourself if you insist on giving your power away at any time to anyone. If you're going to willingly just give it away, and you have so much, we have so much, if you're going to willingly just give it away, not even put up a fight for it, right? Actually lean into someone trying to control and dictate your moves even. Yeah, there's nothing anyone can do for you beyond that point. You first have to decide not to do that. That you aren't willing, that you won't. But that's just for some Scorpios. As I said, for most of you, I do feel like you're dealing with someone else who's going to take that victim mentality for you. And then it's a matter not of mastering your mental game so that you don't allow yourself to do that, but of mastering your mental game the way the King of Swords would there as the clarifier on that card, in order to see through someone else doing that to you. Because Scorpios, you just may feel bad for them. You may feel, it may be both for some of you. You know, you may feel bad for them, and you may feel guilty, and it puts you in a cycle of falling into a victim mentality yourself. You feel bad for them, so you give so much of yourself that that then you're the victim. And who feels bad for you? If that's the situation you're in, certainly you're in need of following the advice of that death card, and it calls for complete transformation. That transformation card does suggest that there will have to be a death of all that is, so that new things can grow, right? Okay, Scorpios, I think that's everything for you. I'm glad I had some time to sit with that reading before the Sun card pops out again as we're ending your reading. Don't forget, don't forget what I said about the sun and the star card showing up together for a reason. I think you need to clearly see yourself so that you can express the most authentic version of yourself, so that you can be that beacon of light for the rest of us, as we are in such need of that plutonic shine, like I said, which is a good thing to leave you with. But I am glad that I got to sit with your reading a little bit before I came back to it. I hope that offered you all something that you didn't come to the reading with, that it helped in some way, offered insight, something of that sort. And I hope that you make very wise choices moving forward, Scorpio, throughout your season. Happy birthday again, and into Sagittarius season. Happy Halloween. Have fun. And we will move on to the next sign. Who's next? At 23 minutes in, 23:30 hereabouts, let's do Taurus. Taurus. Taurians, in regards to our love lives, are we feeling a little insecure during Scorpio season for some reason? Not all of us. Not all of us. Not me. I don't feel insecure. Not all of us, no, but certainly some of us, because it is the card that shows up to represent us first and foremost. We have the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. And then the 10 of Cups upright. So it can be, for a lot of us, that we are feeling insecure in our material world, and it is directly affecting our love lives. Yeah, that sounds right. Well, our anxieties, our recent anxieties, worries, keeping us up at night, causing us stress, are not helping matters much. Meaning, obviously, going over and over how much, let's say money, since we are talking about material resources, going over and over how much money we don't have, how much we need to save, is not helping us to accumulate more, right? In the near future, we have expedited progress. That looks good, Taurus. Okay. Yeah, these are love messages. These are definitely love messages, but Taurus, it's coming up. I see it coming up as a message of security and finances and resources because of this 10 of Pentacles and 10 of Cups right on top of each other. Let's take it in a slightly different direction. Why we do have this insecure energy. For some of us, yeah, our resources are directly affecting, related to directly negatively affecting our love lives. But there is just this sense of insecurity in general. So for others, it has nothing to do with finances. It has everything to do with being able to hold a home together. This is shared emotional fulfillment. So you may have someone in your life, Taurus, who makes you feel emotionally secure. But the two of you can't seem to get it together in terms of actually moving into a home together, actually keeping the relationship together. Maybe they give you all the feels. And you picture this future with them that's here on this 10 of Cups. Maybe for some of you already have a family with them because you feel this way about each other and you love one another very much. But because of finances or for other reasons, who knows what other factors, you can't seem to keep the actual home together. And because you don't reside together or don't even maybe have the relationship completely together at this point, it's just emotions and nothing structured, right? No label, no commitment, etc. You may, then really see no future. You see potential, you see mirages, you see dreams, you see hopes, but they are potentially just mirages as well. You see a 50-50 chance. You see that you and this person have something special. You could take it to that level, but again, because of resources or for other matters of security, you don't feel good about the gamble at this moment. And it may for a lot of you, it may be someone that you have been or even still are married to, at least in some sense. So I have the Hierophant card. I have our card, Taurus, and the root, the foundation of the situation. So for some of you, you married this person in the past. For others, it was a marriage, a soul marriage, a soul bond. You feel married. It feels like a marriage commitment. For some of this has to do with us stepping into our own power, becoming more of ourselves, becoming more of a more authentic version of ourselves, and by expressing that, by committing to new activities, new works, new rituals, new routines. With that Hierophant card in the foundation, the root of the situation position, a lot of us throughout this year have been becoming more of ourselves and have been committing to whatever it is that helps us define who it is that we want to be, what it is we want to create and put into the world. And that is either resulting in not enough money for us at this time, or it's resulting in this, in some sense, it's trickling into this insecurity in our relationships. For some of us, that's because it's not leaving enough money, and that is affecting our relationships. For others, For others of us, there are still some limiting beliefs about ourselves, about our relationship, about our partner, about the way we love, the type of relationship we want in general, what we're capable of achieving in our love lives. For some of us, we still need to question some of these beliefs because we have the Eight of Swords coming up as a clarifier on the Hierophant down here in the root of the situation. Being trapped, bound, blinded by our own limiting beliefs. Keeping ourselves from seeing the truth because we are so committed to some way of being, way of thinking, to some ideal, to some faith, to something that we do ritualistically. And we go right from the Eight of Swords to the Nine of Swords in the recent past. These limiting beliefs that we refuse to let go of, that we're holding on to like beloved traditions, are manifesting then in this up all night type of worry, unable to get a good night's sleep type of worry. Feeling the pressure of that monkey on our back that's pictured there, right? Maybe we are feeling insecure about, some of us are feeling insecure about our partner's commitment. Maybe that's what this limiting belief is about, not seeing our partner's commitment to the situation we may find ourselves in if we're dealing with someone else specific. And we're breeding that insecurity. And then in the current situation, we have the Ten of Pentacles, on its head, turned upside down. Oh, Taurus. I think a lot of us are dealing with a partner. I have to honestly say, a lot of us are dealing with a partner who is a potential life partner. Even if you don't necessarily want to get married, it's someone who could be that type of life partner for you, the way that a husband or wife is, right? And we're feeling insecure, and we're bringing our worries and our insecurity into the relationship, and then making the relationship itself insecure, when really we're met with this opportunity for shared emotional fulfillment. And we have the Hierophant card, which is sometimes referred to as a marriage card, and sometimes shows that way for me, showing up twice. A ritualistic commitment, and the Six of Cups as well. This especially applies to those who are dealing with someone at this time from their past, someone that they've have fond memories with, that they've been dealing with for a while, whether as a friend or a partner, etc. There's definitely potential for shared emotional fulfillment, if not more. Okay, that's a perfect way to put it. But we are bringing our own insecurities into, no question about it. We're bringing our insecurities. I mean, everybody has insecurities, and most of the time we all bring a little bit of insecurities into every relationship and everything we do. But there's a cap on that, right? That's to a certain extent. We are definitely allowing these limiting beliefs of our own to blind us from the truth of what's really going on, of the potential of what this commitment could be, of maybe how committed this other person already is. 88 may be particularly significant for you at this time. And then and then it manifests into these worries that if they're not actually keeping you up all night, they're certainly weighing on your back, gnawing at you, leaving you unable to tend to other things in your home, in your life, in your mind, in your heart that need tending to, because you're distracted with this. And all the while, you are blinding yourself. You are hurting yourself. Okay? We're bringing that into the relationship. It's making the relationship itself as insecure as we are. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm a Taurus. I'm a Taurus sun, Mercury, and Venus. So it's why I can be so sure about what I'm saying to you. And, I almost don't feel bad that I'm delivering it in such a harsh way, because I feel like, hey, it's mine too, deal with it. But that's not fair. And I don't mean that. I don't mean to give you that attitude. It's just, this is absolutely what I'm seeing. If it doesn't resonate, it doesn't resonate. But the Page of Swords is showing up on the bottom of the deck, right? So, and this is someone who is carrying a harsh message. And this is the overall, so often someone who communicates immaturely, and so can be carrying a harsh message, wielding a truth, no doubt. But one that's heavy to carry, hard to deliver. That's often the way it shows up for me. And so we have that energy on the bottom of the deck. So that's umbrellaing the umbrella message for the entire month, or for the entire season, for Scorpio season. And I should have said, I am sorry that this is a little late. I know we're already a week into Scorpio season. I hope it's right on time for many of you. But yeah, as I said, we've got expedited progress in the near future. For some of us, this is me having to deliver this harsh message. The source, the multiverse, the cards saying, this message for your love life this month is just harsh, right? For others, this is your partner not being able to deal with the insecurity that we're bringing to the relationship or the potential relationship, right? A message from them that things aren't going to continue or be able to flourish because of what we're putting into the energy that we're putting into the relationship, or again, potential relationship. And beyond that, underneath the Page of Swords, though, beyond that, there is this Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Wands, and then the King of Swords. There is this opportunity for an inspiration, something passionate, something of the earth to grow, to be planted and to grow. So it's going to go in a couple different directions. For some Taurians, the two of you who are involved in this situation those of you involved in this situation, I guess I should say, need to communicate about this insecurity that someone's bringing to the interaction, to your love life and whomever's involved in it. And for those of you who don't have someone else involved, it could be saying there is potential for shared emotional fulfillment right around the corner, right around you. There's potential with someone you already know. There's a great potential for someone like you to have a successful commitment in marriage, but you're keeping yourself blinded from that and feeling insecure about your possibilities, maybe because of your finances or because of something else that's not going right in your life. And so you're not allowing for it, right? But for some of us in the near future, with this expedited progress showing up, you see in this particular deck, the Deviant Moon Tarot, and I will have information about all the decks in the description of the video. She might miss that message that's coming to her there, right? And that could be the main message with this Page of Swords, to be careful about your quick, harsh, immature communication. Yes, you're speaking truth, but have you thought out how you might want to communicate that truth, how you might want to wield it, how you might want to conduct yourself now that you have a hold of it? And I'm not suggesting that you lie or conceal it, right? But there's just this thought in the near future that you might, this picture here suggesting that you might communicate so quickly, so harshly, so fast that the expedited progress ends up not being in the direction that you want it to be. We could be talking about a fight, an argument, and we could be talking about you missing vital information that could inform the situation and what you want to have happen with it. Still, there's this suggestion that after this harsh, difficult, maybe immature communication, there's this opportunity for, potentially wealth, even specifically financial wealth, since that's what a lot of us are focused on. But also something to, again, be planted, watered, and blossom of an earthly nature, some resource to grow, or maybe for that home to finally come together, if that's what you've been waiting on, or if that's what your concern is regarding your love life. If you're unable to get into the same home or to keep a home together, there's this opportunity for it. This opportunity for something passionate and inspired to be birthed. So that could mean that, some of you need to communicate with your partner about this and it continues on. But for others, I see, for those of you who don't take this warning, that it's meant for, of course, I also see this potential to miss some vital information in your communication, to miscommunicate, really, is what I'm trying to spit out. And then in the more distant future, so as you're ending Scorpio season, and maybe even moving into Sagittarius season, we have the Strength card in reverse. So this need to really take care of ourselves, to nourish our mind, our body, our spirit. It suggests that there's an inability to tame an unhealthy desire of ours at a time when it's clutch, when it's vital, when we absolutely need to, in order to care for ourselves, in order to make sure that we are well mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, in our total energy. That results in our total energy. It is all us. One will affect the other, like that, constantly, all the time. And yes, it does seem like a lot of time then that's required to care for oneself. And that's just the case. That's just the lot. Let's get a clarifier on that. I'm not exactly sure. I just want to know a little bit more about the future cards here, the Eight of Wands, and then the Strength card in reverse. And then I also want an advice card for Taurus. And now your reading rather, has been just as long as Scorpio's just about. That's okay though. If it is a Leo energy that you're dealing with specifically, I do think that you should take that advice of heeding the way that you're communicating with them, the way you're wielding your truth, considering whether or not your communication is immature in some way. Because with the Strength card in reverse there, I do see you missing that Leo by the end of this season, the beginning of next. And the Hermit card is your clarification on the Strength card in reverse there. So, missing them and going within, spending time alone, working on your own business pursuits, your own inspirations, creations, creative pursuits, etc. with those two aces showing up. And this expedited progress in the near future is clarified by the Four of Pentacles. Real quick, I do want to say 10, 10, 10 may be specific, or maybe significant for you, particularly significant for you. Now, this is the third 10 now that's shown up for us. But your Eight of Wands is clarified with the Four of Pentacles here. So this expedited progress, possibly rushed communication, could be about you trying to hold on to what is most dear to you, is likely in regards to you hoping to secure the resources that matter most to you, be it your energy, your time, or your finances, etc. For a lot of you, for a lot of us, it does have to do with the fact that our finances are very closely tied to what is happening in our love lives at this time. It's just directly affecting it. And I guess, we are Taurus, right? So I guess that's us. And I love the thought. I heard from a reader not long ago, and I wish I could remember who it was. I listened to too many still. But I love the thought that, love and money, one is not more important than the other. If you love your family, you love your partner, you love whomever's in your life, you need to be able to provide for them, to give to them. For yourself, you love yourself, we need to be able to provide for ourselves. And so money is no less important, right? Certainly not. I'm sorry, my phone is giving me messages about recording. Certainly not in a world, in a culture, in a society that utilizes money in order for us to care for ourselves and others, right? And so it's like in the near future, we have to expedite our progress. We have to focus on expediting our progress regarding holding on to the resources, the finances, the energy, the money, the time that we have that we absolutely need. And at the same time, you know, trying to hold on to those things too tightly can, of course, block them from coming in, cause them to slip through our fingers, cause us to lose them. Whether I'm talking about a person that we're trying to hold on to too tightly, or I'm talking about finances that we need to invite in by showing the multiverse that we have faith that it's coming. And so loosening our grip on it just a little bit. Okay, I'm going to have to leave it at that, Taurus. I know there are so many more messages here to be had for us. It's so long already. Thank you so much. And I hope we all make very wise choices moving throughout the rest of this season, Scorpio season, and moving into the next season. I hope this helped. I hope it offered you some insight, something you didn't have when you came to the reading. I do think that some of us are, whether intentionally or not, you know, we're ignoring our intuition. We're ignoring our intuition and perhaps our emotional body at this time, Taurians. Some of us are, you know, and it goes back to the strength card in reverse that we were talking about. You know, you have to take care of your mind, body, and spirit. You can't just ignore one and expect it to not affect the others, right? I'm not sure exactly how it all ties together, but I know that the message needs to come through. We're not looking at that card, at that energy, until the end of the season, the beginning of next. So we were given the opportunity here to cut that off before it actually takes place, before we actually end up physically ill because of something that's, you know, rooted in ignoring a spiritual need, an emotional need, rooted in ignoring our intuition about what we need, right? So if you'd like a personal reading, a private reading, Taurus, just scroll down. Those are listed in the description. And I think that's everything. We will move on to the next sign. Who's next? At 50 minutes in, 50:11. Let's do Sagittarius. Sagittarius at 50:22. Okay. Sagittarius, these are love messages for Scorpio season for you. I know we are already a week into Scorpio season. I apologize. I'm sorry. Let's jump right in. We are using the Deviant Moon Tarot, and I will put information about any of the decks we use in the description of the video. You're looking at the Three of Wands and the Six of Swords. So you're very invested in something regarding your love lives right now, Sagittarius. If you're not, this message may not be for you. I see Sagittarius very invested, waiting to see how something turns out. Whether it's just from a first date, a first conversation, a first glance, or, you know, the first year into the relationship or more. Maybe the first year into the marriage. Maybe it's your first pregnancy together for others, right? I just see that you're very invested in how something turns out regarding your love life at this time. I think you're in a situation that has been fragile in the past. The reason we're talking about it right now is because it was so fragile in the beginning. Either the person that you were with was so fragile in the beginning, or you were, or just keeping the connection together, keeping it moving, keeping it going was maybe such a fragile operation. And in some sense, all relationships, all loving connections are. depending on who you are and who you're dealing with. In the more recent past, you have Justice upright, an imbalance, an injustice, possibly legal matters that didn't seem to be going in your favor, at least at the time, or something that feels just as wrong in your life, in your mind, in your heart, as legal matters would, not going in your favor. Some type of injustice, hopefully not any type of abuse. That card upright or in its reverse rather can represent some type of abuse. It's something not fair happening, and often behind the scenes. A lot of times we're talking about a lie, a betrayal, a mistruth. But I do see currently that, that's the recent past. I do see currently, Sagittarius, that you are moving on to calmer waters, is the phrase that's normally associated with the Six of Swords. But it's for me normally calmer waters, calmer emotional states, because you're moving to calmer mental states. First of all, it is a swords card, an air card. And you see in this picture, in this representation in particular, the Deviant Moon Tarot's Six of Swords, how his mind is expanding and lifting him to calmer places, away from these fires, this hectic, chaotic energy, maybe specifically a fire energy, maybe from tempers flaring, etc., something of that nature. And on to a calmer place, again, both emotionally and mentally. Maybe you may be literally moving. That's possible. I'm not sure what I'm looking at yet. Give me just a second, Sagittarius. You've got the Five of Wands in your near future and the Eight of Cups in the more distant future. That's, to me, by the end of the season, you've got the Eight of Cups, maybe the beginning of next season even. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, at some point in your season, Sagittarius, you've got the Eight of Cups energy and the Three of Swords in reverse as the clarifier there. So you're waiting to see how something turns out now, and by your season, someone, I believe you, is walking away and moving toward healing. Walking away toward healing. Walking away from things that aren't meant for you. And walking away from this strife, these fights that are going to be going on throughout this season for you, Scorpio. It can just be ego drama. It can just be petty fights and ego drama. And what I can be talking about is that you and your partner have some petty ego drama to have out. And some couples will have that out, and they will then walk away from that together. You will decide that Scorpio season was fun. It was fun hashing out all of our childhood issues, but now let's move on from that. Let's do better. Let's heal. Let's not be that couple. But for others of you, it's a matter of facing impasses, having fights about childhood beliefs that are not going to be uprooted in either of you, that aren't, The Five of Wands is the clarifier on the Five of Wands as I'm talking about that. So yeah, for a lot of Sagittarians, you're looking at fights that are not going to blow over. And I'm sorry to say that. You're waiting to see how it turns out. It looks like you guys are moving toward a more calm place mentally and emotionally. I think you are moving toward a calmer place mentally and emotionally. You feel like you're done with the fights, with the petty arguments, but sometimes two people just don't work together. Sometimes two people just have such different beliefs that It's very fragile to begin with. It creates an undeniable imbalance that's bigger than us and our earthly desires. And from an emotionally mature place, we can admit and realize that it's only us that can let ourselves out of that cycle then with that person. If it just doesn't work, if it just isn't balanced, if it's just too fragile, if these beliefs are too deeply rooted and we are not going to be able to work through this impasse, then who holds us in that cycle? Only us. And throughout Scorpio season, it looks like that's what's happening. Sagittarius, you and whomever else you're involved with, you're keeping yourselves in this painful, unfinished cycle. You're going to repeat it a little bit more. You're going to have these fights out a little bit more. And then, like I said, you're either going to walk away together, deciding that you're beyond that, you're past that, you're done with that, and be able to celebrate that new level together, that new maturity together. But for more Sagittarians, I'd say for most of you, you're looking at a situation where it'll be an impasse. You won't be able to overcome these things, and they're not things that anyone could overcome. They're things beliefs that were instilled in the both of you when you were so young, that they're sort of ingrained in your psyche. They were put there at a very malleable age, and if you will ever be at the place, either of you, where you're willing to part with those things, you aren't yet, and so you'll part ways with one another instead. And that's what I see for most, but for others, like I said, there is for some of you Sagittarians just the fact that you'll fight through Scorpio season and then decide to move on together past that stage. You'll decide you've grown together and you can heal together. So we will move on to the next then. I think we're ready for Gemini. Geminis, this is for Scorpio season 2018, obviously. And I am sorry that we are already a week into Scorpio season as these love readings are going up for you. But let's just jump right into your love messages. Hopefully they are right on time for many Geminis. I do have my Mars in Gemini, so I'm curious. High Priestess just wanted to flip out of the clarifier deck twice for you. I'm not taking it yet because I was just shuffling up from the last reading. Love messages for Gemini, Scorpio season 2018. At about an hour in. The Star card. Okay, the Star card crossed with the Eight of Pentacles. I definitely see a gift from Spirit at this time. Geminis. Potentially a particularly significant Aquarius energy in your lives or in your own chart, Geminis. It could be one that you are waiting on, have been waiting on, and will wait on, sort of insist on waiting on, possibly. Many of you Geminis this season, this Scorpio season, are hoping to see something in your love lives rejuvenated. The Star card can represent the secret of renovation. So yes, I see many of you hoping for and waiting for something to be rejuvenated, something to be reignited, something to be renewed in your love lives. you've reached a period of peace and healing regarding your love life, whether you actually have a significant other or not. And some of you, many of you, what I'm seeing here on the table is a focus on your spiritual life in lieu of a love life. So some of you in particular may have tuned into this love reading with your spirit, your own personal spiritual life in mind, hoping and knowing you would find messages regarding your spiritual life, though it's labeled a love reading, and though your reader may have, romantic partnerships in mind. That is where you are putting your passion, your fire, the energy you would normally put into a romantic relationship or your love life. You're focusing it instead on what you love to do in your spiritual life. Maybe your spiritual life, your spiritual work is your creative work and is your actual work in your life. And if those are all one thing, sure, that's highly possible then that one would put all of their focus and energy there. And in that case, for those of you who resonate with the message in that way, you certainly are nearing a completion. And it sort of may be that you're sort of waiting on someone else to help you complete this spiritual journey, when in fact the whole point was to go into it and on your own, right? But from having been in relationships in your past, or having had other people close to you throughout your life, you just are in the habit of having someone help you finish that type of work. And that's not the case. The case is that you just need to work on your own this season for these next few weeks, right? Met with the Eight of Pentacles, the work card to me. If it's an Aquarius that you're concerned with, I think the two of you have some things to work on in the relationship. But with the card showing up in the upright, it's as if, Spirit has given you the opportunity to do so, and you are both willing, and that's just what you're doing. Specifically for Geminis who are dealing with an Aquarius, or again, Aquarius energy in your own chart. And in that case, I could be talking about speaking to you working on yourself so that you're ready for a relationship, whether we're talking about with a specific partner or not. Something has been birthed, something creative, spiritual, and the root of the situation has been birthed. So maybe for some of you, we're talking about your love life post actually having given birth. For others, as I said, a lot of that energy that you would normally be putting on your love life, you're putting into your spiritual work instead. And it's something creative, and it's something that you're passionate about. And earlier this year, even before that, you've planted this seed. You've been inspired by someone in your own mind, in your own heart. A seed has been planted, or you've taken that inspiration and you've planted a seed then into the world with your intention to create something, to birth something. And the root of the situation, Gemini, you felt very passionate about some love of yours. For many, it was someone that you held a torch for. And it broke your heart. You lost them. They left you regretting. You felt very intensely for them, for the situation. You saw potential, and you were, as I said, carrying this torch for them, and you lost out. There's regret here. In the recent past with the Strength card, there may have been a Leo energy that came into your life. It's clarified by the Page of Pentacles, which I'll show you now as well. It was upright though. So there may be a significant Leo energy as well that's entered, or in your chart that you've stepped into recently. But with the Strength card upright there in reverse, I see, you know, a conditioning of your mind, body, and spirit as you mourned and regretted this person, this passion, this passion that you loved, and the root of this situation. As you mourned this, in that energy, you learn to condition your mind, body, and spirit to care for yourself the way that you hoped probably that this passionate love of yours would care for you. It wasn't an easy truth to carry, an easy space to be in, but you, with the Page of Swords in the upright, you managed. You were wielding your truth. You were carrying that heavy truth of knowing that you couldn't have whom you wanted, your passion, whomever you were passionate about, it didn't work out with them. And now I think that's, for a lot of you Geminis, that's what you're hoping to see rejuvenated and replenished. It's yourself. Maybe it's that love. Yeah, the Star card just showed again. You're healing. You're definitely in a space, as I said, of peace and healing. You're still healing the part of you that mourned that individual, that passionate love of yours. Some of you are hoping to reignite things with that same individual that you've already lost, that you already are regretting. Many of you know that you need to put that fire out if it's still burning. '88 may be particularly significant to you during Scorpio season. In the near future, you're making plans. You're making a decision about which direction you want to go. All the hard work that you're doing currently leads you to a place where you can. So for those of you who are working on things with your partner in a relationship, the two of you are able to choose which direction you want to move in together next. Maybe realizing the spiritual depth / definition, if that appeals to you, of your relationship. Maybe realizing that, you know, you're bonded on a specific type of soul journey, and you may go in the direction of finding out how to best handle that together as a team. Definitely making plans, definitely able to create your own destiny, whether you're with a partner, doing so with a partner or not. That Two of Swords is just in your near future, and the King of Wands is showing as a clarifier. So for those of you who, you know, are on that spiritual journey I was talking about, completing that journey, communing with nature and your fellow man about that. For those of you who are interested in turning it into a business, really learning to embody that entrepreneur energy and allowing the energy you would put into your love life normally to be channeled there instead. And for some of you, it's all of the above. It's not that you can't be doing both. For some of you, Geminis, it is this partner, these plans are made with a King of Wands character. So a Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries energy, those are the fire signs, or someone who embodies fire sign qualities, someone charismatic, bold, fearless, sociable, etc. Now, regardless of how quickly those plans are made, and I do see the Eight of Wands in your crowning thoughts. So when your ego is quiet, Geminis, you know how to expedite your progress. You see that your progress is expedited at this time when your ego is quiet. So your ego may be saying that this healing, this rejuvenation, this work isn't happening quickly enough. But when your ego is quiet, you would see that you're actually advancing really quickly through this work, this healing, this rejuvenation. And I'll second that with the Strength card in your past. If you've already been able to conquer this conditioning of your mind, body, and spirit, and understand the importance of keeping your total energy healthy by tending to all three, whether or not it's a difficult thing to do, to be honest with yourself and carry your truth around to the outside world, then you're so far ahead of the game. The Eight of Pentacles energy can just be one of toiling away, right? So it's a worker who just feels like they've been working all day and they'll be working all night, and then they'll be there tomorrow, and they'll be there all week, and they'll be there next month, right? You know, you can just get the feeling that the work you're doing is never ending. And if we're talking about healing work, that's because it is. We are on a healing journey, and we don't want the healing to stop, because we don't want the growth and the evolution to stop. We don't want the admitting to ourselves what needs tended to be stopped, or to stop, right? But whatever the work is, whatever's healing, being rejuvenated regarding your love lives, when your ego is quiet, you see how quickly you are advancing. Expedited progress happening at such a rate, in fact, that some communication may be missed here. You see, she may miss this message I always point out with the Eight of Wands. And I don't know for sure, but that very well could be connected to the Tower that I see ending the reading. The Tower energy suggests here for us that by the end of Scorpio season, all will be uprooted, much the way these individuals are in this picture here. Okay, so everything will be shaken up. Many things will fall away. Everything may change. Just nearly everything may change, Geminis, for you by the end of Scorpio season, if this reading has resonated so far. And I have definitely been at a place in my life where I was 3 weeks away from a Tower moment, and a reader was telling me, you might be moving here in 3 weeks, everything might be shaken up here in 3 weeks. And I thought, no, there's no way. And sure enough, we'll get a clarifier on this real quick, and then we'll ask for a piece of advice. I think I forgot to ask for advice for Taurus. Oh, well, it is what it is. We talked long enough. So the Tower energy, Scorpio energy showing up then there by the end of Scorpio season, or rather by the beginning of Sagittarius season. So maybe something that you expected to fall apart this season, it happens next season. Now, I don't mean, necessarily just your relationship, if that's what this has resonated with for you. I mean, the Tower is normally in regards to many things in your life. And the Tower thing can be a great thing. It could be representing a birth. This is all rooted in the Ace of Wands, the birth of something passionate, something you've created, something spiritual. That could very well be the decision to start trying to have a child in the root of the situation, right? And then here sometime in Sagittarius season, so the end of November or the first half of December, you could see those plans finally coming to pass. but perhaps by now it turns out to be unexpected, right? That was something that you thought you wanted in the root of the situation. It seemed like it wasn't going to happen for a while, and then now it shakes everything up. I'm just trying to give you an example really of how the Tower can be a great thing that just changes everything. You find out that you got the job of your dreams, but it's on the other side of the world. So you leave your home and you leave your pets and you end your relationship. I don't know why you leave your pets, sometimes certain pets. But you leave your job. So everything changes and everything's different, but it's because it's something that you want, right? That's the type of energy I see coming in at some point during Sagittarius season. And it's supported by this Justice card. So it could have a lot to do with a Libra, significant Libra energy, re-entering your life, resurfacing in your life, whether that's an energy near and dear to you or within yourself. It is precise, the Justice card, precise and impartial truth, cutting away the untruth. And your advice card is the Queen of Swords. And that's you, that's us, that's air signs, Gemini. That's, the air sign queen. So your advice is to see the truth. To not to deny the truth when you see it, which I think is what will allow things that are not meant for you, that were not built for you, that are not serving you anymore to fall away the way they do here when the Tower card shows. And it will be in the name of precise and impartial truth, cutting away the untrue. And you will see it. Your advice is to, just don't blind yourself. Don't mask yourself from it. Be willing to look at that harsh truth and cut away any energies that don't fit, don't belong, or perhaps aren't even worthy of being in your life any longer. Right? Okay, we will have to leave it at that, Geminis. I do hope that helped. Final thoughts. I will say, though, that, this is a gift from Spirit. This is a beautiful, beautiful energy. The Star card as your main card showing up. A gift that requires your work. And I see now, and have to say that I see now a pair, the King and Queen of Swords, and I see also these creating these plans where you have this powerful potential to create your own destiny. So I definitely see again a soulmate-like partnership, a soul bond, a soulful relationship, a deep spiritual bonding commitment that's beyond just the legal commitment that could be represented here, perhaps, or just, a legal marriage, something deeper, higher than that, happening in the way of your love life. Okay, we'll leave it at that and move on to the next sign. Thank you so much, Geminis. I do hope you make very, very wise choices moving throughout the rest of the season and into Sagittarius season. If you'd like a personal reading, scroll down. Yeah, I think that's everything. And now, who's next? We've done Scorpio, Taurus, Sagittarius, and Gemini. And Scorpio, Sag, Capricorn. We'll do Capricorn next. Capricorn, these are your love messages for Scorpio season 2018, of course. Sorry that they are about a week or so late. I hope they're right on time for many of you. We will just jump right in. Okay. 88 may be particularly significant to you at this time, Scorpios. Or, I'm sorry, during Scorpio season, Capricorns. Something in your love life. Sorry about that. I was just about to say, it looks like something in your love life during Scorpio season isn't working, Capricorns. And I said 88 may be significant to you because the Eight of Pentacles reversed came out first. Something's not working in your love life. Someone's not willing to work on something, I think. Doesn't want to, or something just isn't working. And then the Eight of Cups came out on top of that. So it looks like someone in the situation, perhaps you, are walking away from it because it's not working or someone's not willing to work on something. So yeah, 88 out right off the bat. Let's see what it's all rooted in, Capricorns. Happy Halloween. Let's see. Okay. It's all rooted in the King of Pentacles, which is your energy, an earth sign energy. Here's your Eight of Pentacles in reverse. Something's just not working. Someone's walking away from that. Here's what it's rooted in. Someone having mastered their material realm, or maybe this could be saying that it's rooted in you, since this can be your energy, Capricorn. It can be that, you know, you're the one who doesn't want to work on something, or you're the one who thinks that something doesn't work. It's not working the way that you need it to, maybe. In the recent past, I do see some forgiveness coming up here. Blending of maybe opposites. This energy of integrating to perhaps opposite energies, and likely forgiveness. I saw that a similar message from another sign already. I can't remember exactly who it was now, but it had to have either been Scorpio, Taurus, Sagittarius, or Gemini. It can be that a Sagittarius came into the picture, into your love life in the recent past. It's possible. Let's see what we have on the bottom of the deck as the overall energy. Overall energy is the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. So a reversal of fortune. Possibly a missed opportunity sometimes. Let's get a clarifier deck. I don't have my Rider-Waite within reach, so we will use the Dreams of Gaia Tarot to clarify this. You've got this forgiveness in the recent past, perhaps forgiveness, showing poise in some way for some reason. I think for a lot of you it was forgiveness. And yet something's still not working currently. Now, for some, it can be that, as was with Taurus, your finances, your material world is directly affecting your love life. And maybe you have to walk away from someone because you're unable to focus on your work, because they're not working. Maybe vice versa. They could be walking away from you. That's possible as well. But something or someone, I think something isn't working. Someone's walking away. It looks like it's rooted in your energy. You, it looks like it's rooted in a choice of yours. You know, here's the foundation of the situation, and then here is the clarifier on top, this choice card. you realizing that you had choices that you didn't previously know or believe you had, realizing you had other options, maybe someone realizing they had other options, and earth energy. So likely with it showing up as the King of Pentacles, it is you in the foundation of the situation. It was your choice. But if you're dealing with another earth sign, it could be this other earth sign, of course. And with the King of Pentacles, I see, you know, a mature, masculine earth sign who knows how to manage their money and or energy. A family man of sorts, likely, showing as the upright. This forgiveness in the recent past may have had something to do with someone being dishonest and or an air sign that you're dealing with, because we have the King of Air showing up as the clarifier on Temperance in reverse, in its reverse position. I think it very well may be you who is walking away, and if not, I think you do have reason to take a sigh of relief, even if it isn't you who's walking away, because what's on your mind when your ego is quiet is this Ten of Wands energy, which says to me that you're very burdened by what's going on in your love life. If someone else is walking away from you, it can be for some of you that you're burdened by the fact that they are, yes. But because it's rooted in what looks like your choice, a mature, masculine, earth sign energy's choice, and that can be you, even if you're a female, of course, you know, it can just be representing you in this spread. But because the choice looks like it was yours, because that's what it says to me as your reader, then I feel like, you know, it's you who's overburdened by what's not working, and you who's walking away. Or at least, like I said, you can appreciate see why it's not working. Appreciate why it maybe relieves some of your burden to get out of the situation, even if it isn't your choice. I see that it is, though. I think that it is. The Nine of Pentacles in reverse is your near future card. So I don't see you being independent in the near future. It looks like you're moving toward a water sign. So if that's who may be walking away, or who you think is walking away during Scorpio season around this time, then I don't think that it turns out that way. I don't think that it results in an actual split, an actual break. Or, you know, if you're finished with this person in this situation, if it's you who knows that, you know, you've forgiven enough already, and it's time to walk away, it's too much of a burden, then I see you moving away from that dishonesty, possibly betrayal, and or air sign, and moving toward a water sign. This is a mature feminine water sign energy. The other earth signs, of course, are Capricorn, Scorpio. I'm sorry. The other earth signs, of course, are Taurus and Virgo. The water signs that we're mentioning now are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. So yeah, it looks like you're moving toward that energy. Then maybe that's energy in your own chart, but I see that you won't be independent in the near future. It can be talking about the fact that you won't be financially independent still in the near future. If that's something that you're aiming for, that you know it's a little further off. That would only be here if that's something, though, that is directly affecting your love life at this time during Scorpio season. I think that's why we're seeing a reversal of fortune as this water sign that's showing up in your near future. This watery energy. I think it's someone likely that you already know from your past. And just beneath that, I do see the integrity card showing up reversed here. So, you know, don't overlap these two people. If you're moving away from something that doesn't work with maybe this air sign or someone who's been dishonest with you, right? You don't want to be that person. That says something about them. Your actions say something, our own actions say something about us. Your actions say something about you. So that message isn't for everyone, just a few, because like I said, integrity reversed is popping out underneath there. You don't want to juggle these two energies, right? But I do think that's why we see the reversal of fortune here. So I hope that helped, Capricorns. Sorry again for the interruption, and I hope this helped. I hope it offered everyone something that they didn't come to the reading with, and I hope you make very wise choices moving throughout Scorpio season. Again, happy Halloween. If you would like a private reading from me, just scroll down to the description below. Thank you so much. I really appreciate likes and subscribes. And yeah, we'll move on to the next sign then. Thank you, Capricorn. And Aquarius? No. We'll go back. Cancer. Sorry. Cancer. Cancers for sorry, I'm getting messages. Trying to record on my phone. Okay. Cancers, this is for Scorpio season 2018. I know we are already over a week into Scorpio season now. I'm so sorry. But I think and I hope that these messages though are right on time for many of you. Cancers. Love messages for Cancer for Scorpio season 2018. The first card you have out that popped out of the deck as soon as I said Cancers is the Nine of Wands, but in reverse. Immediately suggests to me that a lot of you may be done waiting on something or someone in regards to your love life at this time. I can also say for others of you though that expecting the worst can attract it to you, right? So keep that in mind. Okay. I see celebration in the outcome. Celebration in your near future. So certainly by the end of the season, I would think. So, and definitely then by next, if not. I see celebration with friends, with loved ones, energies close to you. $33 may be particularly significant to you at this time, Cancers. Okay. 99 may be particularly significant to you at this time, Cancers. Bottom of the deck, we do have the double energy. You may be dealing with a Capricorn. It's possible. Of course, isn't anything. Maybe that's who you're done waiting on, perhaps. I see the, this is why I said 99 may be specific, or maybe particularly significant for you at this time, Cancers. The Nine of Wands covered with the Nine of Cups, both in reverse. Some of you, you know, you may be letting a dream die that you have regarding your love life, because you are expecting and so attracting the worst. That's possible, Cancers. During Scorpio season 2018. And then in the foundation of the situation and the root of the situation, we've got the Three of Wands, also reversed. Just not feeling very confident. This is what it's rooted in. This is the foundation of the situation. So really ask yourself, you know, if this is somehow what you're facing at this time in your love life, what you're giving up on, what you're turning your back on, if it could somehow stem from, truly be rooted in our own, I should say, I am a Cancer rising, lack of confidence in some respect. In the recent past, we do have strength. Maybe this is involving a Leo energy for some of us. Can be that a Leo energy has recently come into the picture, or there's a significant Leo energy around us that we can tap into, take advice from. Either, you know, someone, a Leo energy in our life, or maybe I feel like, is our moon in Leo right now? I think our moon is in Leo right now as I'm recording this for you. So something significant has changed as the moon's moved into Leo for some Cancers. You know, we are ruled by the moon, right? It moves into Leo. Maybe that has recently given us a burst of courage, whereas the certainly a burst of at least strength in some way, whereas in the root of the situation, we have this lack of confidence. Again, as I said, feeling unwilling or unable to take the next step in some way, to make the first decision. I'm getting the feeling that, you know, that we what's happened here, Cancers, is that at one time we were very invested into something, and then we very quickly decided, oh, this isn't going to turn out the way I daydream that it will, hope that it might, really want it to, and we've just sort of given up on it prematurely for a lot of us. But then in the recent past, we do have this strength that showed up, and I suffer, for a lot of us, it is channeling that Leo energy from the moon moving into Leo. Or maybe you have significant Leo energy in your chart that you've recently started to own, embody, use, utilize, again, tap into, because we also do have the death and rebirth card showing up as a clarifier. So for one, this is a Scorpio card. So for a lot of Cancers, it is absolutely controlling you at this time, that, you know, the sun is in Scorpio and the moon is in Leo, and that's the space that you're in, and it's dictating a lot of what's happening in your love life. But for others, and for a lot of Cancers, it's both as well, right? Both of these things that I'm saying. But for others, it's that having that lack of confidence in the root of the situation. Recently, you've realized that through taking care of your mind, your body, and spirit, you can cultivate that confidence, that strength, that courage, that bravery required to move through the situation from a different space. And yes, it is a different version of yourself. It's sort of, you know, you've evolved in a way. You're shedding a characteristic of yourself, or certain patterns and ways that maybe you identify with, but just aren't helping anymore, right? Or, as I said, there can be a Leo energy outside of you for some Cancers. There are just so many different messages here. I'm sorry if I'm being confusing. When your ego is quiet, Cancers, in our crowning thoughts, on our higher consciousness, when our ego is quiet, many of us think, feel, know that there is a wolf in sheep's clothing around us, is what the Ten of Cups in reverse can be saying. And yet I feel like that's sort of a backwards message, because I think some of us are giving up on something too soon. And it can be for this reason, because we're being suspicious of someone when we shouldn't be. And that's why I said there are many different messages here. But for some Cancers, your, again, higher consciousness, your intuition, when your ego is quiet, you know that there is an energy causing this unhappy home, this disturbance in your ability to have a shared emotional fulfillment at this time, or to feel fulfilled, by what you're sharing, or with whom you're sharing, right? Something or someone seemingly innocent in your home, in your life, is actually causing a negative disturbance, maybe even causing fights. That doesn't necessarily mean it's the other person that you're in a relationship with, per se. That does not mean that it's a person at all. There's this energy that maybe a toxic event, what I'm trying to say is maybe there's an event that took place that one or more energies in your family, your home, your relationship situation just don't talk about. But it was a disturbing fight that took place between the two of you, or a disturbing comment that someone made, or disturbing truth or reality that came to light, but now it just goes unspoken. That could be the type of energy that I'm referring to when I say it doesn't necessarily have to be a person at all. Can be this thing from the past that, because it doesn't get talked about, it seems innocent because there's just silence in its stead, but it's festering, and it's causing something in between the people in this otherwise happy home. There's just a lack of shared emotional fulfillment when your ego is quiet. So it can be for some of you that you're possibly, some of us are trying to keep something together that when our ego is quiet, we know we don't want to keep together, that there's not really any real reason to keep together. There may just be superficial reasons for a lot of us that we're clinging to a partner, perhaps because we do have the Devil energy on the bottom of the card. So the bottom of the deck. So definitely an energy of codependency for some. You could be finished waiting on this person, this relationship, to give you what you want because you see that it's codependent in nature. Or even if you haven't realized that, or don't need to take it to that place, you see that you're unable to properly give love to yourself, care for yourself, when you're lost in this particular partnership or relationship. And I think in the recent past, that strength card showing up, this Leo energy that you've moved into in the recent past, began embodying in the recent past, I think, and it may have been your father, it may have been, I just saw the father card flip out, which is why I went that direction with it, but it may have been someone else close to you that gave you the courage, gave you that confidence. But a relative of any type. But I think that it was this total transformation for you with the death and rebirth card showing up there as a clarifier. It was, and that's exactly what I see. It was a realization that you had to take care of your mind, body, and spirit. And you couldn't, you can't do that while you're anxious about how this relationship is going to turn out, while it's taking whatever energy it takes away from you. It may be part of what leaves you feeling less confident. It might be a vicious cycle, right? And so you've decided to stop waiting because you have to be able to care for yourself in every way that you need to. And that is how Cancers, we attract a partner to us that wants to treat us the same way, treat us as well as we're treating ourselves, right? And in the near future, I do see this celebration with loved ones, with people close to you, probably with friends, exiting a situation that doesn't serve you, or, for some of you who do work it out with whomever you may be experiencing these issues with, you may be celebrating the fact that you've moved through it. I'm not going to begrudge you that. Of course, some Cancers may take this in that direction. Some of us will continue to repeat a cycle, of course. The advice card that showed up is the Magician card, suggesting to us to keep in mind that we have all of the tools that we need to manifest whatever it is we like once we decide what that is. And I think what that's referring to is needing to decide what it is that we want in a partner, in a relationship. If that's something that we're missing, if that's the reason that you're tuned into love messages, is because that's something that you're wanting in your life, and either you don't have it or it's not working out with this person currently. We already have, we're being told we already have the ability to exude the self-love to ourselves that we would need to in order to attract, magnetize the appropriate partner to us. And any other tool that one might imagine that to attract our partner to us, right? We already have maybe everything else, maybe a lot of other things, enough other things in our life organized to invite a partner in, right? But there's just that matter of deciding what it is that we want and we need. And for some of us, that may mean spending a lot of time alone, going within and getting to know what it is that we need, want, like, have to have, right? So that is what I see for Scorpio season regarding your love life, Cancers. Thank you so much again. If you'd like a private reading, just scroll down or check out my YouTube channel. Thank you for liking and subscribing again. And I think that's everything. lunartickstarot@gmail.com if you just want to reach out to me specifically. Not sure if I lost a card. And otherwise, I hope you make very wise choices moving throughout the rest of Scorpio season and into Sagittarius season. Let's do one card for Sagittarius season. 5 of Wands. I just had to say it. So it looks like some ego drama coming up regarding your love life in Sagittarius season. So for those of you who aren't finished with a toxic situation, one that perhaps is, you see that ego drama coming up in Sagittarius season. For others, you may walk right out of this situation, Cancers, and then right into that ego drama with someone else. But now you're prepared, right? What I will say about that 5 of Wands energy, now we're prepared. what I'll say about that Five of Wands energy is that it can seem like it's just play fighting. It could seem like it's not serious, because it is just ego drama. But often it's also ego drama or not. It's often also connected to deep-rooted beliefs that we've had imprinted on us at a malleable age and aren't willing to part with, and that's why those fights seem like play and then turn serious and seem like they're just about egos, but end up being about core values and beliefs at the same time, and then we've reached an impasse with someone, right? So that's just some foreshadowing, I guess, for Sagittarius season. And the Tower card just showed as well. So I would be prepared for energies that no longer serve you to fall away, which is a good piece of advice and a good practice anytime for anyone, to practice detaching from those things that we are attached from, to keep in mind that we would be okay without everyone and everything that we hold dear. And that's not me encouraging you to not have attachments. I encourage both. Have them and practice letting them go, right? And I think that at this time, with the Five of Wands and the Tower card showing up for your Sagittarius season, I think this would be a perfect time to start practicing that, right? Okay, that's enough. That's all, Cancers. Take good care. And we will move on to Aquarius. Aquarians, regarding your love life during Scorpio season 2018. Aquarius. Yep. Well, when we walk away from something, we do so with a sharp tongue, don't we? Not all the time. I'm not accusing all of you of that. But it looks like that's who this message is for this Scorpio season. The energy that's covering you, what you're covered by, is someone walking away. I do feel like it's you. And then you're crossed with this sharp tongue. You're walking away, and it involves some harsh communication, whether it's coming to you or from you or both. Someone very well may regret walking away from this situation or this person, or at least very well may regret the way that they went about it, because there is a suggestion with the Knight of Swords showing up here in the reverse that you've done so, or someone has, in a rather reckless manner, maybe acted too quickly, spoke too quickly, maybe thought too quickly, committed to thoughts that should have been just that, suspicions or shadows. For some, not for all. For others, you're absolutely justified in walking away. It's what you need. It's what you want. It's what the situation calls for. Again, it just may be that you may end up regretting the way in which you walked away. Now, if it's not you who's being harsh in their manner and in their action, even in their words, that I could very well be talking about it, and the other energy ending up regretting. Oh, sorry. Chair problems. So this is all rooted in the Nine of Swords reversed. In the recent past, you have the Seven of Pentacles upright, then the World reversed, as what's in your crowning thoughts. The Four of Cups is in your near future. Yeah, see, I do see that regret in the near future. Realizing you just quickly, thoughtlessly threw away something that you wish you hadn't. And again, it's not necessarily you. It can be someone else in the situation, in your love life. A feeling I just got is it could be someone close to you that you need to take advice from. There may be someone close to you that who you needn't take advice from, who would push you in this direction or advise you to take this type of action, and it's not their choice, it's not their decision, it's yours. And Aquarians, I can't imagine why you would want to give that choice and that decision away, right? That doesn't sound like us. That doesn't sound like you. But I do, I see that in the root of the situation and the foundation of the situation, we have been healing. Of course, aren't we all always? Yes. But there's been some significant healing coming out of sleepless nights, coming out of anxieties, fears, this getting away from these monkeys on your back, being able to tend to things around your home that need to be tended to. Once again, you've moved out of that energy earlier this year, I'd say, and the root, the foundation of the situation. And then in the recent past, with the Success card here, I see, a success that wasn't exactly what you expected it to be, but success nonetheless. Perhaps, monetary success came in, but that didn't solve your relationship problems. And you thought that it would. Maybe, you thought that it would be, and it always, to some extent, is directly connected, right? But I think you thought it would solve problems that it apparently didn't. Let's get a clarification on that foundation card. Actually, I think also for a lot of Aquarians, the success that we see there is referring to the healing that we see in the foundation of the situation. So there was some deep healing required, some significant healing that shows up here that everything that's happening now stems from. And you saw, and in the recent past, you've seen some great success. You began healing in the foundation, but you found yourself you've realized what great progress you've made in the recent past. You've either just taken a great leap of progress or just finally looked back and seen, wow, I'm very healed compared to where I was. I've come a long way. And I think that's what's informing this decision to walk away from someone or something that doesn't serve you anymore. And so the decision itself is great. Well, again, what I mean to say is it's yours, it's your own. And if it's rooted in this healing and evolution that I think it is, then it's great because it's a step forward. It's what's best for you. You honestly, I think in the root of the situation, didn't know enough about yourself, what you wanted and needed. And recently, I think that's a lot of what the success is that you've come to realize that. And that's why you're walking away from something that you not only don't want and don't need, but can't have, can't deal with. When your ego is quiet in your crowning thoughts, you're afraid of your own success, and or something is not completing. So it's like, I just have to say, one message I see coming through strongly is, you know, if you slam the door on this person, regardless of how badly they treated you, if you had a significant connection with them, if you're really attached to them, or just if they meant a lot to you, because this may have just been a false start, so it may not have been something that was going on for very long. Oh, it may be a false start in terms of the fact that you all just aren't ready yet. So yeah, if this person seems important to you, feels important to you, even though maybe you've hurt each other up at this point, possibly, you know, since you are walking away at this time, if you slam the door on them, if you're hurtful, like I said, if you're reckless with your words, then there is this potential for regret in the near future, and no wonder you're afraid of your own success. Again, don't take advice from someone who's suggesting that you end this situation in a harsh manner, any kind of a harsh manner. Be mature, be responsible, be respectful, because what you're doing is creating work for yourself where you end up feeling like you don't have any closure in this situation, and maybe end up regretting not only the way that you talk to them and the way that you ended things, but you may end up regretting the fact that the way you end things means you don't get another chance with them, because you two quite possibly are just not ready at this time. Or maybe it's a false love, false twin, false start in general, in those senses. Maybe it's not what you're looking for, but if you deny yourself some semblance of proper closure, then you can be stuck on this and keep this cycle not ending for a long time, trying to figure out, you know, do I just regret how I talked to them? Do I regret losing them? Why am I hanging around? Why am I hemming and hawing? And then you're trying to sort all that out. Whereas if it's just a clean, nice, respectful break and there's closure there, then it'll be a lot easier to sort out how you feel about it afterward. If there's genuine, sincere regret because you missed the person, that will be a different matter and easy to differentiate from the regret that won't be there of how you didn't talk to them. Sometimes we can't help it. I know we all lose our temper sometimes, but the message is just really coming through that you won't be doing yourself any favors. That is what could give you cause to regret how it was handled, cause to comb over a situation where there's no closure, cause to repeat a cycle that maybe you are done with or need to be done with for a time at least. That's what's coming through. And then in Sagittarius season, I see the Magician for you, and we'll get a piece of advice as well. So in Sagittarius season, you have Aquarians, all of the tools that you need to manifest what it is that you want. If you want to call a different partner into your life, you have the ability to do so, to magnetize that energy towards you. And I was just saying something very similar to Cancer. That was their advice, and it's what your Sagittarian season looks like. You need only to decide what it is that you want. What qualities do you need? What qualities do you like? What qualities best complement you and your best qualities, maybe? Whatever it is that you have to have in a partner, you know, it's just a matter of deciding on those things, and then you are able to call that in when you're ready. And your advice is the 10 of Earth. Yes, 10 of Earth, 10 of Pentacles. Well, first of all, this character, this woman in this deck in particular, is very abundant and lavish, and also grateful for those things, right? For those decorations and that security. So there's always that message and advice of showing gratitude for all that you have as you look toward calling in what else you may want in the next season, etc. But this is advice for this season, for Scorpio season as well. Security. I think that is what a lot of you are looking for, Aquarians. Some semblance of, again, security. Consider the Nine of Swords in the root of the situation here, the foundation of the situation. What you're healing from here is a very anxious and insecure energy. And I know that you don't feel that way right now. You feel strong enough to walk away, even be harsh. But you're doing so because, you know you can't let someone make you feel like this again, or contribute to this anxious, fearful, very insecure feeling. So if you've left one partner for those because they created that feeling or contributed to it, and you're leaving another one now because you're fearful that they're just going to continue to do the same, right? Or something along those lines. Then here's this advice of, keep in mind that if you're going to call in next, soon, at any time, what it is you do want, remember that sense of security versus the insecurity that others have left you with.